The controversy over scientific Japanese whaling has raged since the banning of commercial whaling in 1986. Are the Japanese going to finally stop their slaughter? Hey gang, Trace here for D-News. Whaling has been practiced by humanity in some form for centuries. Ancient man hunted whales to ensure our species' survival. Whale oil, meat, blubber, bones, and skin, every part of the massive mammals were used in the past. But today, whaling is a very profitable enterprise coming at the expense of these gentle giants. Many species have seen their numbers drop to near extinction levels because of whaling. After 4 years in court, the United Nations International Court of Justice issued a ruling on March 31st ordering Japan to stop its annual whale hunting around Antarctica. Their ruling states that Japan was killing whales illegally and not for scientific research, as the country has claimed. In 1986, the International Whaling Commission banned whaling for profit, though allowed for some whaling for scientific research. Under this ban, countries are allowed to catch enough whales to determine if whaling could be re-allowed in the future. But the court found that Japan was taking advantage of that weird loophole, catching as many whales as they wanted and then writing scientific research that matched how many they'd already killed. The country's own scientific witness said that he didn't know how the Japanese researchers calculated their sample sizes and admitted that their catching of fin and humpback whales was pretty much useless, scientifically speaking. The Japanese continued to hunt whales after the ban, they say, because of tradition. Whaling has gone for many, many generations. 1,000 years ago, the Basques began the first commercial whaling company, and as technology advanced, the number of whales killed annually grew. By 1863, the ships were steam-powered and had harpoon cannons, which shot explosives into the whale's body, and by 1925 the British had built factory ships which could catch, kill, and process a whale, all without bringing it to port. In the 60 years that followed, 2 million whales were slaughtered for profit. Slowly, the public perception of whales has changed. By the 20th century, humans no longer needed whale oil or meat or blubber or bone or skin. They've been replaced by newer, more reliable technologies like modern farming, kerosene, gasoline, synthetic fabrics, and so on. As the public tide began to turn, countries around the world appealed to the League of Nations, the predecessor to the United Nations, to do something about it. Regulations were put in place in 1931 to stop whales from becoming extinct, but they weren't exactly binding. Bringing us back to the present day though, companies in Japan, Norway, and Iceland now have fleets of ships that are accused of whaling for profit and for flaunting this ban. The Japanese claim their catches are for research, but since 2005, there have only been 2 scientific papers published on only 7 caught whales. Not to mention, the whale meat from this research usually ends up in commercial markets anyway. Activists like the Sea Shepherd follow and taunt Japanese ships on the open sea in an attempt to make whaling more trouble than it's worth. Full disclosure, by the way, a show about the Sea Shepherd airs on Animal Planet. It's one of Discovery's networks. In the end, Japan has publicly agreed to stop whaling. This doesn't mean they'll never whale again, but if they do so, they'll have to justify it a little better with some actual science and also justify killing and not non-lethal methods like tagging or sedation. What do you think? Is this tradition? Are people making too much of whaling, or is it a horrendous practice? We've got a comment box for a reason, or if you'd like, we're on Twitter at DNews, or you can find me directly at Trace501. Let's talk about it. Please subscribe for more D-News, and thanks for watching.